Se7en Trading, for the discerning gentle person.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Essentials.TF monthly for the EU, and this is the grand finals between Se7en and the Bus Crew, and it's brought to you by STNtrading.eu. You get hats, skins and all that jazz, and demos.tf, and I'm joined by gemm and DuMmTm again. Hi.
Hello, and we have the grand finals here, the big boy game for the big boy money. So these two teams will be heading into this in a best of 3 series, and the teams that are heading against each other will be Europe's probably best team right now, Se7en versus Bus Crew, coming together with sort of mix, sort of core from last season staying together, and yeah, they want to try to contest Se7en for the €1,000 prize pool, which the winner will take 600 from. So you definitely want to make the first place to get into the big money, and yeah, both of these teams definitely wanted. Se7en with the full lineup today: Amps, Adiski, Flash, Tiger, Cadis, and Seeds all here and playing, which is honestly kind of rare for these cups. Usually somebody just doesn't have time, but looks like the new lineup is a little bit more readily available than the old one. So everybody's here. And Bosco, we just saw them, and looks like it's pretty much more of the same. So no major switch ups for them anymore. So it's Poison, Martin, Lucas, and Jon, and Ellie in spec joining them as well any moment.
Yeah, well, might just go for the rosters. So Se7en, Se7en, the new lineup, which is Tiger, Am, Slash, Adiski, and obviously Kado. Solid lineup. They're looking solid for next season, which is quite good. Have they won every game in this cup?
Pretty much, yeah. They barely lost rounds as well, so they're looking as strong as ever. Obviously, after a little roster shuffle at the end of last ETF12 season, people were looking how well they were performing and like how quickly the new guys can pick up where the old ones left off. But it's looking really strong. They're coming back into pace, and in fact, I would say they play slightly different than they did before. Definitely a lot more faster paced than they used to in the past. So different stuff, but similar with the idea of still trying to make the enemy do the mistakes here is what Se7en's motto is for these games. And yeah, on the other side we have the Bus Crew, which we just saw, and they're looking pretty solid, but is solid enough to take down Europe's reigning champions here.
I don't know. Again, if they've made the grand finals, they must be solid. That's my conclusion. But we've seen them play before. They did do quite well against Tennis and Materi, the team before News's project. So it's hopefully they can. Can take a few rounds.
Oh, you would hope that. I am personally gonna be honest here, not too optimistic that they're gonna upset them, which I would still like to see if they're able to, but I don't think it's gonna happen. The question is, how much can they make Se7en fight for it? That's gonna be the big question, in my opinion, because every team basically is being made with the thought in the back of their minds that they eventually have to play Se7en to pass them at some point to become the best. And it's not gonna be an easy task. It's not gonna happen overnight. And Se7en's history is much, much longer. Even with this new roster, it's much, much longer than these Bus Crew boys right now. So it's going to be a tough task ahead of them in these 3 maps. And speaking of maps, looks like the maps we'll be seeing today are first map Process, then Gully, and Granary as the decider. And Process looks like it will be Bus Crew's picks, so one they are confident in.
Yeah, it's definitely a Bus Crew. Although Se7en, they perform well on most maps, on all maps. It's just, comes down to the team's preference at the end of the day.
Yeah, and then second pick was Se7en's Gully Wash, and Granary obviously the decider. And while Bus Crew might like Process, it's such a common map that I don't think it's many people's least favorite, or at least like worst map these days anymore, just given how much people play it, that anybody is at least decent at it, to the point where I don't think that Process is a good counter pick in these sort of situations. So I'll be interested to see how that works out. Galiosh, historically a decent map for Se7en and their previous lineups. Been a while since then. That's certainly not gotten worse a bit, but I wouldn't even think of it as their strongest map at the moment. Would probably be Backlands, probably in my opinion, is up there for them.
Must be practicing on Gully then, because, you know, second pick Gully. So, you know, should be interesting.
Yeah, Grand Decider is certainly a weird one, but not an unheard one for either of these teams. So it will be quite interesting. Obviously, Basco has a W just earlier against Tiny Samaritans, uses Project in the semifinals. So they had some warm up on that map. I don't know Se7en's map history, but just given the scores, most of these games didn't last too long. So they had a quick way into these grand finals.
Hopefully, it isn't just 5-0. I don't want a 5-0. I want to see good.
I want to see Basco put up a strong fight. So let's go Basco, and let's see what Se7en has to offer against what Basco will do.
Defos, man, defos. The same time I want the grand finals to end quickly. That way I can open my window and I can have fresh air in my room because it's stuffy as hell in here.
Rest in peace, Plunk. Dying of heat for the last 2 hours.
Quite literally. Nay Factor 50 is going to save me.
We are right now just waiting for the last man, which is Ali. He's still in spec, so he's what we're waiting for. Everybody else is here and just having a grand old time pocketing Flash as a heavy in pregame. Yeah, it should be interesting to see. Obviously, Basco with much less experience going into that as a collective of 6 people here together, whereas obviously Se7en has much more of that going their way. So it will be interesting to see how they want to break all the threats that Se7en has worked out on themselves. And yeah, it should be a lot to ask from them to just win this.
Defos. Hosting in here, man, honestly. Canada 2L.
Well, these guys have been playing the entire time, so yeah,
They could have windows open,
in a
though.
similar situation. Yeah, exactly. Still, they're still sitting there having to play this and having to concentrate on the game at hand.
True. They have to game, we just talk.
Well, for that, they first need to start, so that is what we're waiting for right now. But it wouldn't be TF2 if it didn't include lots of waiting for people, and even if it's just a single person, you don't want to start 5v6. I mean, people did, but on this level of play, probably not the best idea.
Ali joined red and then joined spectators. Greater than the left bracket. And then joined again.
So he's just baiting everybody.
Oh, I'm sitting out in chat.
On the soldier class, he's on the red team now. So we'll probably be going live soon once everybody got their pre-game strat sorted and talked about how to approach the first mid fight. Sooner or later, hopefully. But what can you do? These guys know how much time they have to waste before the default time kicks in, and they're gonna use every single second of that.
Alrighty, I see. Looks like, ooh, everyone's ready. They're just messing about the new.
According to chat, Jon readied up the red team, so it's all up on Se7en right now, who had all the time in the world to wait for Ali, but looks like that's not quite enough. But yeah, we'll see. Obviously, Se7en comes out of a game with our Electro as well in the quarterfinals, which I would have thought would probably be one of the closest games for them. And while it didn't end in like a complete roll that was over tremendously quickly, it was certainly not as close as I would imagine it to be. So if that's any indicator for how strong Se7en is at the moment, then Basku is maybe not going to have the best of times here. If Se7en is at full power back again with
I've
his
readied up. I'm ready. We can go. Gamers are gaming.
Yeah, we're heading into our first map of this best of 3 CP process. Se7en versus the Basku in the Essentials Grand Finals of this monthly cup, and we see Cadis taking the safe slow approach to the sewer side.
Yeah, this game was extremely fast this mid, but it looks like Arms. Maybe I was trying for a double bomb, but not really. The scouts are up there. Kind of that. But it looks like they're on the left side right now, just kind of, you know, doing their thing. But both Lucas takes out a disc. Cadis gets Lucas in the end there. So that's a nice wee pick there for both teams. But Ali goes down it. Oh, that's not very good. Ali now goes down. Cadis gets Sorex as well. That's 3 down for the side of red. They're just going to nick out. Yon. Oh no, Tiger.
Then gets the medic. It's only Poison left alive. Yon pistol down by Tiger as well. And Poison just trying to stay alive, and he has nowhere to run. Tiger finds the third kill as well. Strong mid fight. Se7en just rotating from right to left even. And denying Basku a lot of space they wanted to use, getting kills on the way there, and really nice chase at the end. Props to Tiger, having the eyes of people escaping, and they just keep going into last with this U-ad straight into the last point. Tiger trying to cap the point. Soldier Ali has to say something about that, but what can he do? He's just trying to survive at this point. Well, Se7en parks himself 1.3 people up for Basku, and that's not enough.
That was a quick round. It took 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, strong start for Se7en for sure, and that's gonna be already tough to recover from, because if Se7en are known for anything, then it's to be able to slow down the game, control the pace, and keep a lead the way they want it.
Yes, again, Cadis nice and fast once again. But also he's going to be maybe playing, you know, don't know what's up to, but Yon's on the left side there now, the side of Se7en. He's just going to kind of just get a wee bit of spam after. Oh, Amps, nice shot on his Sorex right there. But it looks like a Disky going in for a nice wee bomb. Oh, can he get anything? No, he doesn't. He goes in a poison.
He
But
doesn't,
Amps,
but
oh,
everybody
Tiger.
else does for him.
Oh,
Labs, and Martin has nowhere to run as well. Tiger gets that.
that's a
Once again,
white
second
there.
match kill for him, and similar approach from Se7en this time, just slowly taking away the space from them on the left side, but much more aggressive in execution this time around, and huge collapse, getting like 4 kills within a second. And Martin dying late as well means none of these guys on last have heals right now. They still need to wait to cap the point on the second point on Se7en's end. So once that's done, they're moving through lobby, taking the Uber through the right side straight into the other team. Nice sticks by Kane is taking out Martin again. So even if this still goes bad, they still have the mat kill going for them. And so it's going down is a lot to make this better. Sticks have been popped by Yon. He wins the fight against Amps. Disky going down as well, but everybody's just on the point instead on Se7en's side, and winning those small fights there for Basku is not enough.
My god, these rounds are just flying in. Se7en's aggression is unbelievable right now. Oh my.
Se7en's slow die might just be relic of the past at this point.
Yep, it truly is, I would say. Maybe it's just because of the bus crew, I don't know, but it looks like, oh, a Disky tries to go in for the meme spoon, doesn't quite get it. He's going to get picked off by Poison in the end there. A for effort though, but Arms goes in. Ooh, Yon gets hit on there, doesn't take that much damage though. But both Poison and Ali are now down. That's going to get a lot of room. Oh, but also the Adisky and Tiger go down. Adisky's spawning in fact, Tiger is, you know, he goes down, but this is still winnable if the series isn't. Oh, Lucas gets the lash. Oh no, they're going to try and look to get back out right now. Since the both gets us, Lucas gets Cadis. Seeds, no, sorry, just not even, no fear, walking in. That's Disky's
Nice arrow onto Adisky though. He stays alive for a little bit longer. He stays protected for a bit. But is it enough? Tiger spawns just in time. Is it enough? Lucas wants the kill. Can he get it? He wants the pistol kill. No, it's not enough. He stays alive just barely. That was pretty clutch, and all of that just off the back of HSD maybe wanting to have a little bit too much fun on the mid-fight, just putting his team at an immediate disadvantage for the mid-fight. And yeah, they controlled the high ground pretty well, but still off of a -1 immediately. That might not just be good enough. Eddie gets taken down and choked. A nice kill from Amps. Get into better position here for Se7en.
And Disky jumped through sewer right now, but the Disky actually no, he's jumping through choke, so that was
Cadis is completely left alone. Seems to have to pop the save, and it's an exchange in the end. Disky going deep, but also going down there in the end. Poison keeps the scouts from getting into mid, and everybody's weak on Se7en. Seeds has to go back to help his team. And it's a pretty passive exchange at the end, neither team getting too much done here besides the disky kill. So Ali is just jumping in to see if he can get more, and that's follow-up jump by Poison as well. And that gets Cadis and Flash pretty weak as well on top of that.
Looks like they're going around for Ashes, gets taken out, not taken out, but he's getting pushed out by Poison right now. That's good to take that second half to set 7 now, which is going to be helpful. But Ubers are equal at the moment. They're whipping out the sentry gun, they've got the sniper.
We
They
have
are
Poison
not-
flying in, but he doesn't really find anything though. His team is coming with him and they get
Cadis.
killed off the back of that. Cadis and Whiskey both down. Luke is on the point so much time. 7 has passed and Vasco has the damage. Really nicely done all the way from second to here. Just really good double bomb into second that isolated Cadis, found the target they wanted. And 7 didn't feel comfortable after that. So they were forced to leave and Vasco playing with their expectations, just going in quick non-Uber situation and taking the round away from them. 2-1. Vasco is still in this.
They're fighting fire with fire right there with aggression by the looks of things. But it looks like, you know, Radisky might be going in once again for a nice wee. He's going to be on the left side, you know, or right side, sorry, not there. But Ali goes in, not really getting much done. We rock up through. Tiger does go down at Lucas. Poison's quite weak right now. He's Radisky gets that just little flick rocket on him right there. But both soldiers are extremely weak on Blue's rock right now. It looks like right now the side of Red they've got 3 down. They need to get out unless they can take this fight if they feel confident enough to take it. Arms jumping in, gets yawn. They're going to need to get out. Adisky tries to go in for the meme spoon. They got shut down by Ali.
Ams is on the chase here. Is it enough? I don't think it is. Nope. Not looking good. Ooh, the server is lagging.
Some technical issue, boys.
Rest in peace, server.
RIP server. We will be miss you. That's just a technical issue,
Props to
boys.
Cadis who keep trying to hit pipes though.
For the game.
Oh, look at that. Cadis hit the pipe despite the lag. But yeah, people are dropping like flies. So most likely they're gonna get a new server. This one is just forked.
Not good there, boys. We're going to try and get a new server. We're back soon. We're just, you know, so far 7's aggression's been quite good.
Yeah, that last mid fight was a little bit weird though, because Bosco had such a good start, just going in aggressive, denying 7 high ground, which they made really good use of the last few bits, and it was going pretty well for a while. But eventually 7 just caught onto it and played really passive, and at that point, if a Bosco player wanted to commit in deep, they would be stepping so far out of line that it just is not feasible anymore. And they would just feed at that point, so 7 had a nice adaptation there at the end to still make it a win for them. And we're just waiting to see if a new server will arise soon enough.
We'll get a server
Otherwise,
very soon.
really strong start by 7. Bosco had the stuff going for a little bit there, so it's not quite over for them yet. But if 7 gets momentum once again, it's going to be difficult. Oh, look at that. We get a new server going pretty quickly. Probably going to be a while until people finally connect as it is with TF2. So yeah, process it is once again. How much time did pass? We had 3 rounds, but those were pretty quick. So it's not like a lot of time has passed since the game started. And these players need to pay attention to that if they want to set up the server correctly. But yeah, they're going to be hard pressed to get into a similar situation to what we just had. So end of the mid-fight, 7 just took it, and I really don't know how much time has passed. But yeah, the rest will be played out in a moment. Then everybody obviously needs to connect first with the new server, as it tends to be. And obviously it's still CP process. In the first map of this best of 3, 7 with a strong start, Bosco with a quick round to make it a lot closer again. That's where we are starting off again when people are on their way.
Could be any minute now that the people start joining.
Well, you know TF2, they're gonna waste another 10 minutes just getting to the server.
I love delays. I really do. I
The
don't
man
like it when
Jon is already here, so that's one.
yeah, I don't like it when first buses in Glasgow have better times than TF2 delays, which is very, very bad. To be fair, there aren't server issues with buses though, so there's that.
Well, it's the future, my man.
The
Just wait.
future is now, old man.
In the future, your bus will lag as well.
Why can't the bus scan my phone? Well, we're going to have server issues, in fact. And we're going to fix this by buying new buses. They don't work as well, because it's first.
Well, let's
They
hope
don't
this bus
work.
is working, because they still have a fighting chance in this game right now. Se7en might have had a good start, but the one round is really so important for them. The bigger Se7en's lead would get otherwise, the harder it is to get a comeback going, because Se7en is just so good at like killing all momentum on the enemy team and playing to their pace, which if they just want to, it can be really slow. So far they've been really fast, obviously, but just the last few games, even with this new rosters they had, they've shown that they can slow down the game pretty much at will once they have a lead. And even if Basco is going to get in a slightly better position, Se7en is going to be mercilessly executing those strategies.
Also, they want to restart the round, or they want to go back to stalemate at mid. Um,
Looks like Se7en is doing the reasonable thing of recreating the closest you can get to the situation we just had at hand. Obviously, we were just at the end of the mid fight with a little bit of fighting still going on, but bottom line was Se7en just won it basically.
wait for the teams to
Looks
sort
like there's a
things
little
out.
bit of discussion as to whether they want to restart the entire round or actually recreate the situation they had, which is a little bit difficult because there was still fighting going on. So they're trying to argue, yeah, but we would have won situations, which, while maybe true, you can't definitely say.
Katie's hitting out to just give us a round 3-1. Just jumping straight away.
Getting a little bit ahead of himself there. Oh, I like Lucas' argument. I think Ali was just about to drop the medic after he just died. That seems reasonable. I would go with that. I don't even think Seeds had at that point, but who cares? Let's go with that one. Well, that could take a while. They're discussing things, as
Oh
is
no,
common with TF2.
this
Nobody knows
chat
what
is.
is going on. I see a lot of XDs, mostly a Disky. So they don't know what's going on either, I would imagine. To picture it for you guys, it's basically the discussion as to whether or not Se7en is getting second, because we just ended this last game on a situation where Se7en was just chasing them into second with barely anyone up on Bas's crew anymore. So basically the discussion is about whether or not Se7en is gonna get mid or second as well. Obviously Basku is gonna heavily argue for their position being that, yeah, but you didn't have cap second yet, so you shouldn't get second. While Se7en argues that obviously the situation was so stupid for Basku to be in that even if they didn't wipe, they hadn't had anything to play second with in the first place. And yeah, stay tuned for the next episode of TF2 Drama to find out how that's ended.
Lads, start wasting time.
Ooh, I like Amps' response there. It's just straight for the BM.
I mean, he's been BMing the whole time, to be honest. Especially to Ali. I'll give them it. I'm enjoying it.
Well, I don't think they are because they're just wasting their own time here.
Well, I'm enjoying it.
For how much longer will you be enjoying it? That's
I
the
don't
big
know.
question here.
I
I think
don't
there's
know.
limits to these things. I don't know what their limits are, but like mine are close to being reached here.
Yeah, I mean, when you said Se7en slow die, I think Se7en slow die is going to come back after this. This is not fun anymore. I've reached limits. My brain's in two different thoughts, like thoughts of train right now.
Well, they're gonna keep discussing and make themselves look like the real heroes here.
Please stop letting us talk on stream and just play the game. I don't want to talk anymore. Please stop.
Oh, I like Martin's approach to the situation. He just compliments Idisky's rocket launcher. Meanwhile, everybody else is being a grown-up man on the server.
Oh, Martin hit with the colon 3. Oh, there we go, boys.
Well, it looks like they're gonna argue it with tournament admin himself, so Henny is being called into action for the last tournament he'll be doing for Essentials.
Good
So
luck, Kenny.
that's the grand old time for him.
Then he'll take over Sweden, and then we'll never hear from him again.
Well, we'll see how that one ends soon enough, hopefully. But yeah, it's all up to Henny, I would imagine, at this point, to just talk some common sense into these people. But yeah, Plunk, just imagine what Benny would think of this situation.
Banny would have been on a plane to their houses already, just straight up. Just tighten for them at that point. Holding them hostage. He wouldn't do that. Anyway, how's your day been, mate? See, because we're cutting about. Oh, one team's ready up. In
Good
fact.
until now, at least. Oh, looks like they're deciding on things. I see the server console, which is the admins saying some not so nice things that I'm not going to say on stream, but bottom line is stuff will be happening, I think.
Gang and play a game. Sorry, that was my sister.
Like, you have to also put it into this perspective. The last server just shit the bed, basically. So why would you waste more time in which that can happen again on the new server instead of just start playing the game and like just not have that risk anymore? Just start the game. Really.
It's even happening, man. Who, what,
I don't
when,
know.
why?
I really don't know. It's really hard to tell.
See now that this has happened, there's clouds in the sky, right? There's clouds, right? They've ruined the day. They've ruined today.
They
here.
made the sky cry.
Exactly.
TFT gods are sad.
You've made God
Disappointed.
upset. I knew he's going to reign in Scotland, and now we're going to be upset at him. I mean, what's new there, but still, we're going to be even more upset that we're not going to get 21 degrees tomorrow and we can't take our taps off. An English translation of that would be, it's going to be too warm tomorrow, so we need to take our shirts off.
Definitely. Shout out to Scotland.
No, don't give a shout out. Shout out to Germany.
Looks like decisions are being made. People finally figure out that they do in fact kind of want to finish this game. So it's only a matter of seconds at this point until they finally go live. Who would have thought?
I think the decision's been made.
Well, I'm not sure if it's good decisions, but it's decisions at the very least.
I mean, compromises.
Well, one of these teams won't be happy, but really, if you're already on the winning end, like, how much more can you ask for?
I'll put a re in chat there as well. Oh my. Seen a re. That's not very good.
I just saw in chat that somebody said Salva got brutally murdered with 7 chainsaws, which is a fun picture to imagine. Just one of these players, after the lost mid-fight, just actively killing the server with a chainsaw to reset the situation in their favor.
I think it was just Serve Me that killed the server. They just, nah, man. New server. Need to waste more time.
Just Ari having a laugh there.
Ah, man. But looks like we're going to start on 22 minutes on the clock to take mid and have Uber, which is good. Feels good, man. It's actually starting.
Oh, and look
think
at Flash with the big brain play. Just going spy to see if there's an off-class, and he will immediately see the Lucas sniper. So
He calls it in chat as well. Oh, Tiger does at least. Oh my.
and then the Bascu tries to divert it with spy, smiley face, which is a really strong lie if you ask me.
These gamers have big brains.
Flash is just almost feeding in, but he doesn't get punished for no sticks on the shuttle, so he gets away with that.
I thought Full Lad was going to 7. Ooh. Oh well. Looks like it's equal, but we take that, it's fine.
Ooh, nice little sticky trap from Yon. Immediately taking on AMS. First kill on the new server. To a sticky trap. Just nobody paid attention to. So, not too hard of a start for 7 here. Out of the bat. And Bascu is just playing aggressively into the choke with the sniper, trying obviously to enable Lucas to have better sightlines here. 7 keeping themselves decently positioned to keep each of their players and most importantly Seed safe here to not drop this Uber. And sticks all over choke, so Lucas can't really go too far. Meanwhile, Ali in the PC area, trying to make some moves. And this gets eyes on that. Not too much happening there. And let's see if Se7en has any plays, because so far they're just trying to play to not get sniped pretty much, but not much aggressively coming out of them. And yeah, that should be interesting. Needless to say, with a round down, Se7en could play this game like this forever, and it's onto Bascu, and yeah, sniper might be the safe way to approach a stalemate like this, but it's definitely not the fastest one. And sure, 20 minutes is still a lot of time, but...
Oh, Arms jumps in. Oh, he hits Martin! Oh! What a shot! Oh my god.
Just as they were feeling comfortable in the stalemate, just soldier comes flying in.
Jesus, that was absolutely fucking good.
Ali died as well. That's a second pick on top of that. Sure, Lucas is still sniping, but they're taking the safe way in through the PC end, so no sniper threat here. This game goes in. Flash as well, both being stickied off by Yon. Gets a 2k, so any chance of a quick push for Se7en, despite this insane drop there, gone immediately with that sticky trap, which is really important for the Bascu. They need a decent hold here, and getting some time to set that up is really strong. And they're even sending in Poison to see what he can do, but doesn't find too much. Just Cheyenne settles with something. Ali comes in, jumping in as well. Soix too. They're just finding picks one by one. Amp's down, Kate is down. Bascu just taking it aggressively.
No, this is not good at all. They're losing players. It looks like Poison's going to try and jump in. No, he's not. He's going to just hold choke and just spam them out.
Really nice push out by the Bascu. Just taking it aggressively, make it so that it looks like you want seeds, but really just kill anything that's in range. And the Solly and the Demoman are certainly worthwhile picks here.
Not good at all. Not good. Se7en are expecting an easy win here, but now it's kind of... All technical issue, boys. Eric Andre,
Imagine if they started 5 minutes earlier, we would have had 5 more minutes of gameplay now.
we would, but as Eric Andre, we'll be right back. We won't be right back. We're going to be staying here. We could go to break until we get a server.
Who knows? I don't know what's happening with these guys.
Who,
Pretty sure
what,
they don't
when,
know
where,
either.
why? Is Ari taking another chainsaw to another server? I don't want this to happen. Please stop. We want to play the game.
Please don't harm your local server. What have they done to you?
Oh, how many players of these are hitting the re? Because I'm about to hit a re every time a server dies.
Well, this is gonna waste them some more time, and I'm sure now they wished. I think now they wish they actually started the last round earlier because just wasted so much more time. On top of this, also wasting more of their time.
New server has been deployed, lads. We got it.
Maybe they this time don't need to change immediately again. Oh, look at that. People are already here. The moment we join as well. People being quick. What is this? TF2? I can't
Lads,
believe it.
these gamers are fed up with the wait and they're joining instantly. Oh no, here comes the arguments again.
Well, my brain like shut off every time the server died, so I completely forgot what situation we were in when
It
we
looks
switched.
yeah, I think they were in choke. Someone bombed in, and that's how I remember. Everything's a fog behind that. Today's been a giant fog. If the server dies, my brain dies.
Well, at least they know how much time was left, which seems to be about 18 minutes, so that has been said already.
Using that brain.
A little bit of brain power they have left to do that at least.
I don't think anyone have brain power after this. The nerds in this world are ruining everything.
Well, let's see who is missing. It is
Poison.
player. Oh yes, it is Poison.
My brain's back again, dumb. Back.
Congratulations! How
Someone
is
put it
having a
back in
brain?
my skull.
To
I
be
just-
fair, you're playing Scout, so you don't need it that much.
Sorry, what? Someone took it out again.
Let's see, they set the timer. Somebody read it up. Are they actually agreeing on the game state they are continuing from?
Can we please just game, lads? We're gaming. Fast gamers this time.
Unloaded. Team state 2 ready on both ends. We have video games
I don't
be
know what the
played.
conditions are as well.
In about 30 seconds once they realize where they actually need to be on the map. And it could be interesting to see. I don't remember either, so let's see. Se7en is on mid. So I guess that's where we are at. Se7en just has mid and Basco has second.
Yep,
Pretty
yeah,
simple
same
at
old,
that.
same
And
old.
both teams have a sniper. I don't see any spy shenanigans. Honestly, I would have just liked to see somebody stay spy.
Yeah, this is the same lineup as before. Lucas is still sniper, Thalash is on sniper. Was Thalash on sniper before? I don't know.
Well, now he is. Why not use the opportunity given to you, basically? And he immediately loses it, so never mind. Should have stick to Scout, my man.
A for effort, mate. A for effort. Still a better job than what I would do. But it looks like things are in the usual process. Stalemate,
Sniper
nothing
pick,
special.
still not enough to do much with. Unless we have
Oh,
something fancy like Ali does in PC that wins that fight. Gives Lucas a lot of space to work with as well. But it's such a late kill though, like Flash is already back up in the field. The second kill is only as good as the time it takes really. Because right now it's effectively not a double kill, it's just a single one. And Ali will die for it as well.
what a shot coming at Faithful Ash right there. But Lucas is still looking out the choke, trying to get a bit beyond, getting the spam out and the choke. Kadis eats a pipe, I think. I think it was a pipe, probably a pipe. Pipes. But there's a sniper watching choke as per usual, but Arms trying to get a wee bit of spam onto the people, the feet sewers.
When we see Ali go to engineer, sending up the sentry on last, not even on second, just on last. So he's employing popular pub strategies of holding last when not needed to.
I think Ali knows what the script is. He knows any second now, oh, never mind, they're not going to push.
If you're just
Flash
scared of the backup.
Back cap when I don't cap second, that's
Really, that's how good Se7en is.
defos.
Except Flash, who's having a tough time on sniper
Oh,
right now.
Lucas and
already
poison
dead.
are into a Disky
With
doesn't
huge
quite
rate
get
for this.
poison. Oh
It's good damage
no.
against each of them, but still not enough. Sox is just into choke as well, but he's slightly sticking off right now, needs to pistol everything, and still almost dies for his efforts there. Lucas takes the distract in, peeks into choke, and
On,
not
yes,
actually gets
Bambi,
killed.
no.
And poison is just in, wants to get Kadis, can he get him? No, barely didn't. 1-for-1 trade in the end, while both teams still have the snipers just taking pot shots through choke, but not really hitting any of them, despite big fights going on, well, relatively speaking.
Ooh.
This time Flash is the victor here, takes the kill, but there's a sentry gun on second, and it's hard to tell, or it's hard to imagine that Se7en hasn't realized yet.
Put dispense. Oh, Tiger!
Tiger just walked into it.
Oh, the Sojin as well. He is launched up in there. Arms quite low. Didn't expect the sentry jumping in. The
Flash is getting
does
shots finally, would make the soldier kill so much better. Ooh, poison gets taken out for Martin Tate. Martin just popping on nothing. Yon is too far back to really help him in the fight. 2 down, a bust, they have to give up positioning. And Lucas gets killed out to Ab, just trying to peek in.
There we go, boys. That's one pick for each side now. Both soldiers are down, except Arms is going to have a bit of a late spawn by 4 seconds.
Looks like the sentry did in fact put in the work, and if I remember correctly, one of the things that Kadis wanted to make with Tiger to make him a better player is just awareness of when he goes in, and he clearly wasn't aware of that sentry. So better luck next time, as we are now heading into another statement where Yon is immediately taking the initiative with his sticky trap, takes on Amps once again, and makes Lucas able to take some more aggressive peeks, but on the other end of the door there's a lot of spam, and still another sniper with Flash still being on a sniper class. Ali again setting up a sentry gun on his favorite class, just going ham on the buildings.
Devil Man isn't Ali favorite class anymore. It's engineer. Uncle Dane him has taught the ways. But
Well,
it looks
he
like
certainly can still jump with engineers, so
yeah. It looks like Lucas is holding quite aggressive in the lobby right now. Like really aggressive. But he falls down Flash. Ooh, missed the shot on him. I don't think he spotted him, but Lucas has tried to go for him as well. But oh,
this looks like just a pause though this time. So this time it's a single person's fault that we can collectively blame. Let's find out who the culprit is of having a bad connection today. Well, what do we have here anyway? We have Adisky taking a little bit of a beating at rollout, but he seems to be mostly safe. At least Poison is also weak, so he can't really go in for that kill to begin with without risking to die himself. And at that point, it's not quite worth it if you just die in a 1-for-1 trade. Really? So yeah, I would be surprised if either Adisky or Poison would go for anything. And with Poison's rocket already coming flying Adisky's way, even if Adisky was the one doing it, doesn't seem like a great idea.
yeah. Also, I'd like to point out that there's a level 2 in lobby.
Yeah, Ali likes playing Engie, as we've established before, and he likes hiding them. And if people just keep on pressing W like Tiger did just a minute ago,
Oh, there
and
we
it
go.
might just work, and this is where we'll find out.
It's a level 3 in fact.
Ams wants the Yon pick, but Ali just pushes him on Angie. Lucas backs him up. Helps him win that one. Ams down. People went weak. Poison gets cleaned up by Tiger eventually, but they get him in return, so... Once again, Tiger being a little bit too over-eager here.
Yeah, well, both Ubers are equal. They've got both got snipers. It's just the stalemate of
But
process
not if
last.
one of them dies. That gives Flash so much more freedom to just snipe with. Lucas down here. He immediately takes a shot, but 150 damage against a fully buffed scout. Not enough. Zoic stays alive. And Se7en still takes lobby, but there's a sentry gun. No one went down this time though. They find it quickly enough. Tiger not falling for it. Tries it seems.
Ali back and soldier now.
Shot after shot. He takes so much damage though. The Buster doing a decent job keeping him out of there. Se7en is just going for the exchange though. And they pop first, so they need to see Seeds out, but it's... Ooh, that was actually pretty nice dodges that. Seeds will stay alive, Tiger doesn't, but Matt staying up is pretty nice. Flash going down to Lucas, the sniper rocket. Poisoned with the wraparound, huge damage onto Seeds, but he can't find the final rocket. While it is just keeping the rest of the bus crew locked in.
Well, Ali doing work right now, getting nice pick of the disc here. But it looks like, you know, they're taking second back. Although Yon did lag there and hitting the wall with his pan, as you do when you're at 600 ping.
Probably be the pause then, I would imagine, if somebody just it continuously pans a wall.
Looks like his pin's ping is back to normal now.
And with that, the gameplay continues where they just left off, which is first crew taking second, despite Yon lagging in the middle of the push. So still a pretty good one if you still manage to pull it off with just 5 people, basically. Sure, Se7en didn't know that, but it's not like Yon could have dealt any damage there. So still props to the bus crew for taking that, and much better exchange for them. Works out just fine for now, but can they keep continuing these into mid, where it's much harder to have one of those? For now, they're relying on the snipers, and Tiger takes a nice little shot there, tries to fall damage. That's one pick, it's just a scout, but still maybe enough to throw
Poison jumps in. Oh, he misses the shot on Cadis. Ali comes in and just to clean out on Cadis. Oh, Seeds, what a surf there. The last clean up on Ali when he jumped in. Seeds is extremely weak, 27 HP, so you need to go for the pack right now. Looks like they're trying to make their way in right now, squeeze in through that choke, and it looks like they are now. They're out into mid right now. They are going to use Uber. Uber's half been exchanged. The Lash is on Yon right now. Yon just gets the flash. The Lash is behind right now, being chased. But Poison does go down to Tiger. Two good
really good exchange for Se7en, yeah, they got good picks, have presence behind lines, and for split hand not cross with that. They really couldn't afford to nice push into second off of that. Ali gets taken down as well, as Poison who died in the midst of that fight. Good stuff by Se7en to take the space here, and the second point. Yon overextending for a sticky trap, but Se7en is already in low, he's not taking any time here. 2 picks into last, they want to keep going.
Oh, Poison jumps in for Seeds, doesn't quite get it, but doesn't matter. Luca gets him in the end. They've got Martin's on the point, try to deny it a wee bit. 2 Tods on the point, that's BM and a half.
And what good is a med kill if you still can't win round? So Se7en takes that.
So that's
And with that, we
3-1.
have a 3-1, despite what my scoreboard says, because we switched servers. So 3-1 to Se7en. And this lead is getting dangerously close to just being slowed down by Se7en. Cadis, despite the slow route, even beefs that a little bit there, unfortunately. Ends up going through sewer and connects with the rest of his team. Am's going for a high bomb, doesn't really go into anything though, just throws damage over to the other soldiers. Going for a little bit of damage exchange. Both teams contesting this high ground heavily. Poison takes so much damage there by the scouts, cleans up by Am's first pick, and so much damage on both sides.
They're all weak, they need to go out sewers right now. Oh, Arms tries to go in sewers, but he doesn't quite get in. Ali and all that are weak right now, they're weak at choke, they need to get out. Ali's going to try and jump back in, doesn't quite get in. They're all weak, you know, Ali's quite weak again in fact. Lucas is weak as well. They're going to get spawner. They do cap mid on the side of Se7en right now.
Ali wants to go for a big flank, and he wants to get damage onto this. He doesn't find the best rockets though. Knocks him down, but can't really finish him off. Flash in the meantime went down and choked. Yon treats him with some pipes there. Both scouts off the boss, just looking if they can make something happen here. Cadis is being healed though. Poison also just peeking. So is Ali from PC. So everything aggressive on the bus, but Lucas is just storming forward, gets the force out of seat. Well done there, but Martin used at the same time onto... Oh, not for too much of an effect. Yeah, it's a technique by the Uber. Nice air shot on the Uber first as well, denying Poison a little bit. Zoiks gets the first kill here though, despite the slightly deep Uber, but still looking good for Buster. Kade stays alive for so long before he gets eventually cleaned up, and it gives Se7en so much time to come in and clean people up on their own.
Yeah, Martin's alone by himself right now. It looks like he's going to try and get out through the lobby. He does get out. Se7en is actually behind in their sewer. I don't think they're dead spawn. They do know he's there. Looks like the Lash is just kind of cutting about, just coming through. But Se7en is good. Looks like he's going to be spawn camper, in fact. That doesn't matter. It's only Lucas and Martin on secondary with people just coming out. You know, from the woodwork poisoning, the yawn, they finally come out. Arms is extremely weak right now. 7 HP. He needs to get back.
That, and Lucas fighted in the end. And with Zoiks being eventually dealt with behind, no scouts for the bus crew. That's an invitation if I've ever seen one to take second. Kade is just jumping in, no scouts, no worries on that man. And he's the only one still in trying to contest that, but not looking too hard. He deals quite a bit of damage to Kade, but not enough poison also being taken down by Adiski. Chasing him deep. 2 down with Zoiks not quite being spawned yet. Lucas just on sniper trying to get a quick kill, misses his shot. And Se7en just in with the Uber shot. Not really anything for them to find, but they can just play the point for great effect and just camp the spawn doors until they got the time.
That's 4-1 to the side of Se7en right now, which is they're finally picking up again, which is good.
And I refuse to believe this game would have taken this long at this point, like in-game time as well, not just real time. If not for the server switches forcing stalemates where none were happening to begin with. So Se7en breaking those pretty consistently right now. Ali going all the way behind, but people have spotted him in his sewer. Even Ali taken down pretty quickly. Lucas sniping to it. Nobody really supporting that too much, but he still hit the shots. Pretty quick kill onto Tiger. 1 down each. And with the sniper third, Se7en has to slightly adapt on how they want to approach this. Just coming from behind the rock.
Well, poison gets the Lash. But Se7en Arms is going to jump in. Looks like the sniper.
But he did get the medic, and Yon got cleaned up of the damage as well. The Kade Ziski takes up poison, just trying to peek into the midpoint, and Lucas with the follow-up gets the sniper to Ziski as well, threatening them a lot. And Zoiks just in the front lines as well, just being a nuisance for them.
Yeah, Lucas is peeking choke right now. See if he can get. He just sees. Doesn't quite get him. He knows Seeds is there, but he's going to be rotating to his sewer. And not even sure, he's going to get out soon now. They're on the right side. They're going to stick up. Most of the case getting sticky in PC, but they get.
Lucas was sniping so aggressively, and Zoiks wanted to be around him to keep him safe, but 2 scouts just too much of them to ask for to deal with, and both have been taken down. Really nice done by Tiger and Flash, taking down the sniper threat as well as just another general kill. Yon gets a sticky kill onto Kade, but at this point that's not enough to really save anything on the second point, so they're forced to fall back to last. And yeah, with the DuMmTm, and last push is a little bit more sketchy, but with this Uber advantage, I don't think they want to wait, and they clearly don't. Hop in to the sniper sideline and goes in deep to find poison. He is so weak in the top area, he gets taken down. Everybody on Basket is rotating outside besides Lucas. He keeps going for shots, and it works for him. Takes down Seeds. And his Sesui is still up as well.
They don't have play. They don't have heals to play around it. Lucas is 1 HP. Finally gets Tiger in that, which is quite good. The Se7en is non-stop aggression, pressing W into Adiski right now. He's still going after him even after he takes pack. I don't think he knows he can win this. Maybe he can. He does win it. Ooh.
Looks like rushing this Uber advantage push without Kade was not the way to go for Se7en. Basku defending themselves quite nicely here, getting some kills on the way out as well. Adiski, you mentioned Kade's flash, all going down at the end after the initial fight even ended. Basku wants to get rid of that momentum into mid after the second point. Now he's rocking onto Tiger, being taken down.
Oh my god, the aggression coming out right now. Just non-stop.
Yeah, throw damage for sure, but they don't find anything with that, unfortunately.
Ooh. The Scouse Cap, they're just going to be cutting a bit in mid right now. Get a spawn. Tiger gets fall spawned, in fact. But Arms jumping in, just, well, not Arms, Ali jumping in fact. But you know, that's going to give them space. But Adiski behind right now doesn't quite get Martin, gets a rocket on him. But, oh, splash.
Still, it's second point to the Basku on this even Uber situation. They are 3 rounds down on just 3 minutes, so they don't have any time to waste. So they're just in, using early, but Seeds has his Uber to respond with. They're getting poisoned with the heavy off class. And with that, Se7en already forced to leave. Lucas just left alone on last, gets taken on double team by both the scouts.
Good hold there from Se7en. Oh, I don't expect anything else from Se7en. A bad hold is not Se7en, but oh,
big fight.
Nice fight there. There's Ali jumps in just to get a nice wee rocket off. Paulson's down. Paulson's in the
Still
surface
hasn't
below me.
given up this yet. The soldiers are flying in over the point, dealing a lot of damage to Cadis, who takes so long to die, but he does eventually. But Edinsky just takes the initiative. Nobody with Martin. He jumps in, takes his life. 2 down each, and it keeps going. Se7en now back in the fight here, forced to make some moves with Seeds to protect him, and they're getting the kills for it. Poison down, Lucas down. Only Sorix left alive, and he's flanking around them, trying to be sneaky. Doesn't really have a clue where they are. He just jumps over Flash to get into Seeds, and it works.
He gets Seeds! Oh my! What a play for Sorix right there.
He had no clue that Flash was right under him, but he didn't care. He just was flying in there.
Behind, no, he looks like he's going to go in for Martin. He doesn't quite hit the rocket. Oh!
Really unfortunate for him as well. That was not a great serve. Martin had no speed going anywhere, but was just enough to weasel his way around those rockets.
That's oh, they're going to get a back tap going. They need to stack the points. Sorix is trying to take a fight Cadis, not Cadis, Flash right. Looks like he's going to go up. Doesn't quite get it.
Lucas is dead old. Wins that.
Oh my,
That
that's
was
Seeds
They
is
still
flying.
kept it on. Martin did go down in the end of that. Despite all the kills going Basku's way overall, Seeds is the one staying alive where Martin didn't, and that is so important right now. And with the backup as well, they secured themselves some nice little power spawns that they wouldn't have had if they lost mid here.
Still not. Poison should have died there a lot sooner. But you know what? He's dead. Also, they're going to probably roll into second. They have numbers and heals, apart from one soldier. They're 2 down right now.
And I don't think they know that yet. This could make or break the situation if Ali gets a big stab here.
Ali is behind. Oh, he's uncloaked. He's going in. He think he can get tied. Oh, he beats it. Oh.
And 2 Sollies are there as well in case it had gotten any worse. So 3 people. Oh, the sniper Lucas onto Siege, so takes him down immediately. While Se7en is just in on last now without heals though.
Oh, they're quite weak right now. Oh, they got 3 picks, 4 picks. So many soldier. Mid died. Oh, that's very good. GG. That's 1 round to 7. That's 5-1, I think it is.
Yeah, this is game.
There we go. That's then we're moving on to Gully, and that is Se7en's map.
And with how the manning they were here, that is looking like a tough job for the boss crew. But maybe they have some stuff going there. They had this one moment, but all of that mid-fight relied on the fact they got 1 early kill that they didn't get in basically any other mid-fight. So that is basically where it all falls apart. They can do stuff once they have numbers at, but without that, they're looking so helpless on these mid-fights.
No point. I mean, we can check logs, I guess.
It's gonna be weird though. Like we have like logs of like at least half the game, which is better than nothing, but it's missing quite a bit. It's including a winning round for the bus crew.
Yeah, let's run an ad then.
Keys me. Ah! Who? Se7en Trading, for the discerning gentle person.
Alright, and we're heading into our second map of this best of 3 7's pick CP Gully Wash. And as Plunk mentioned, yeah, there are logs, maybe, but they're only telling half the stats basically. So it's not too much you can get from this. Lucas top fragging, Flash tied with him basically, Tiger right after. So the scout's just going nuts basically. Is the story of the logs here. Damage wise, similar thing except poison on amps breaking up there with the top damage. But it's just half of it basically. And the stats look decently close, but then you look at the scoreline and it's such a different story. It just really shows how Se7en plays, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also, this was only for half the game, so like, you know, I would just take this times it by 2 and bingo. Don't do that. That's not accurate. Just don't do
It
that.
probably isn't accurate at all.
It's accurate enough-ish. Yeah. It looks like we have switched the map now.
Yeah, CP Galleywash, and we saw last game that Jon was going big on this map. It's a classically good demo map, and you need to perform incredibly well to outdo your opponent demo man, and he definitely did with Smirre being a well-seasoned demo man, but Jon still having such a good performance on that map. This time he's tasked with meeting up on the upper end with Cadus, obviously very well-seasoned himself in terms of playing demo man in sixes, so should be interesting, as well as the just stuff you can do on mid. Galleywash is one of my more favorite maps when it comes to mid fights. You have a few options here, so it will be interesting to see how these teams approach it.
Yeah, I mean, historically this has been Se7en's map, as you've said before, but Jon, as you said before, did fat damage. Last time I played Galleywash, it was like 10k, not 10k, yeah,
11k.
11k, that's what it was. Like he can do work.
Yeah, he's proving himself as one of the prem newcomers from last season. Sure, his team might not have performed quite to their expectations, always being close to lose a lot of games there and ending up with last spot. But individually speaking, they're making some moves here, and Jon no exception with that for the bus crew. So this time on Galleywash, it's going to be quite a task, obviously. One of Se7en's historically good maps. If they want to slow it down, they clearly can. And we saw on Process already a lot of sniping. And so far, I would say even Flash, despite his great performance against All Electro and Sniper, in this matchup, not having that much of a field day with the Sniper class. So even if it's one of Se7en's preferred way of doing things, the bus crew do have some say in that as well.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, I mean, I don't know. Ali's on demo right now. Maybe Jon, yeah, maybe he's messing about. Probably still on
They're both
social.
on them. I wouldn't see anything in that just yet. Ooh, and they do remember to change the config from not time limit 18 minutes to time limit 40 minutes, as it should be.
Smart people, smiley face.
And this time, to all of our delight, they won't have to discuss where to start from, because it will be just starting from a mid-fight, as all good TF2 should be.
So can we get this done over? Because I want out my window. I'm actually genuinely dying right now.
Rest in peace. Well, we're just going to wait for the last few players to come into the server, and I would imagine they don't want to waste much time either. This took a lot of time from them to begin with, so why not get this started as soon as possible?
This is so much time now. Do your own thing and don't waste their time or your time or anyone's time.
Well, who's the last person left to join the server? It is Flash, it seems. So Se7en Scout, just the last one to wait for. And then we can go live with CP Galleywash. And yeah, I'm looking forward to these mid-fights, to be honest. I hope it's not too slow of a map. Not just because there's not much happening in slow games. I'm not necessarily too against that, but I do want to see a few mid-fights here. Because what we saw from Se7en on these mid-fights was pretty convincing, especially before the server switch. They had like all this momentum going for the mid-fight, besides the one where he just did his thing and basically ruined it for them, to be completely honest. But yeah, they just had a mid-fight, last push. See if they can keep going, or if Basku have more to say about that for the second map.
It looks like it's starting right now. They have 6 in each team and we're going. And Ali has changed the team name to Upset, so they're not happy. Feels bad, man.
Or they're looking for the upset win.
All that, but that's being optimistic. No. Exactly. That as well doesn't sound like Ali. But it looks like, so far, looks like the last Cadus Arms just jumping in, gets a nice wee dookie in Jon and Sorex. Only Martin's weak, getting out to the lower right now.
He is behind them, they have spotted him. Yes, he jumps the point, and that reveals him completely. Flashes on the
Tiger's
stage.
going in.
Well, they find him. down Tiger chasing, but nothing for him to chase down really anymore. And quick mid-fight, they found poison, and then it was just going straight forward for them. No wasting any time. Just heading in there, and it was working well, besides the one important key factor here being Martin staying alive, but he doesn't have that much Uber right now, despite staying alive after the mid-fight, only 75. By the time Se7en is in here with their own Uber, taking poison slash early. Once again, Lucas taking the fight with the Disky for presence under the point. Lucas will win that one, but Eddie has to go down for the cause. Se7en's taking position left side and storming over the point the moment they see somebody step out of line, straight into Yon, taking the first round.
It was a quick round, wasn't it?
Reminds me of last game.
It does. The exact same time as last game. 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Now let's see if they can keep up the pace, and they did all of that despite Martin staying alive after the mid-fight, which is really interesting to consider. And I don't want to see how quick this will be with Martin going down on the mid-fight. Basco's just so all over the place on the ground. They're taking so little action.
Poison jumps in. He's jumping. He is in there, just outside their elbow right now. I think they're
Rams is just walking forward to elbow into the combo. Takes on poison, takes down Martin most importantly. Se7en just protecting himself from the last few people on mid, but Basco playing from the low ground just doomed them to die there pretty much, and the flanking players were easily not enough to throw Se7en off guard. Ams had his mission and he just kept going until he got the med kill. So yeah, once again, strong mid win for Se7en, much more so than last time, but is it gonna go any better for Basco, or do they have a better defense this time around? They do have a sniper, they do have a heavy hiding.
So they're just going to be walking in right now. Just the last is just going to get some time on the point. Ali's in secret as heavy. Tiger's on the point. Ali didn't look him up in time. It just looks like, oh, Ams jumps up. Both soldiers. Cade is on point right now. Oh, they all just jumped on the point. Only Seed's left right now. Not very good for Se7en. They all just fed on the point.
They were getting so desperate to get the point in the end. Seeds realizes the bad situation to kill Vines. He was actually really close there to killing Martin. Martin was on 20 HP, while Seeds was just throwing arrows at him. If he had gotten that, it would have been such a good kill to have. But right now, after this clutch defense for the Basco, they're holding on to a full overcharge going into mid, with Seeds not even being on the field yet, with his really late death there, so nobody has above. Ams on 75 HP is almost pretty much out of the picture for now. Nice shot though, coming out of the ledge, and a sticky kill as well onto Lucas, making things a little bit harder for Se7en.
Yeah, it looks like, oh, Tiger is behind. He gets the force in Martin. What a force there. Looks like Uber they're going to be in the advantage of Se7en right now. And oh, they're getting a bit of Thalash. The Tiger's under that gap actually.
Gets the force and the backup as well.
Oh, it doesn't quite
able
get
to
it
block
back.
the point there. Yeah, they're just able to edge themselves onto the point. He tried to body block them, doesn't quite work out. He goes down, but he made such a big play for his team. They're getting the out of the picture and the backup to draw them back. Saves them second, as well as potentially a lot of effort on second itself, seeing as how much time they have there to just quickly cap this. That was a really big for Tiger, and they have the advantage to just keep going forward with.
Looks like Arms jumping up on top right now. Poison's going to jump out to get Pat.
But we have some rotations, movements in big door. 2 people against 2 people right now. This already went down, but it looks like Se7en is winning that fight. So it's the only man standing. Nice fight by Cadis. And the rest of Se7en is just capping the point.
Oh, Thalash takes the
last man standing.
He takes the sticks. Thalash is just walking right into last. He's on point. It's only... Oh, both scouts are on. That's around 7. Quick, easy.
Around for Se7en, 2-0. Quick game, 5 minutes off the clock, and Se7en going 2-0 in the lead. Convincing. I don't know what that rotation was about for the Basco. It made them so vulnerable to exactly what happened. Se7en is moving forward. And I would imagine the call was made that there's 3 people big door, let's just keep going.
Ooh, Disky hits the ramp quite nicely on the point right there. But Arms straight in for Yon. He's getting shut out by the scouts and that. But oh, Poison up top, tried to get Disky from there, but doesn't quite get him. It looks like they've already lost 3, they're going to get out. Martin gets out by himself once again. Can he catch Sorex? He does catch him. And the Disky's going to be chasing him and shut up. You get out just in time. That's going to be another mid for Se7en.
That was such a well done mid by Se7en. Every time one of them made a move, they left immediately after dealing damage for another them to just come in and clean up for them, and they just tag out each other instantly. Ooh, nice shot! Body shot kill from Lucas. Machina coming in clutch for them.
Oh no, that's a rip.
Kate is dying there as well. 3 down, Uber dropped. 3 up still. They need to be worried about to not get backcapped or get forced, preferably. So they say Tiger gets taken down. Spawners are coming up. Amps and Seeds. In McDonald.
Another backcap. What the fuck?
They were getting so optimistic there to just throw themselves at second that they didn't care about the backup. But just finds himself behind. Once again, 307.
Tactical drop to AIDS weapon.
Indeed.
Oh my god. What was that all about?
Well, Se7en taking the lead here very convincingly, 3 hours and 7 minutes. And they'll keep going. Tiger goes down early though, and they take a lot of damage on the offside. Soldiers are weak, and the follow-up is there. Poison stabs across the point. Se7en already on the move out of the midpoint. Sorex is getting a little bit ahead of themselves, and he gets taken down, but some nice stickies that were just waiting for that to happen. And looked like for a second there that the combo wanted to move through Big Dog quickly for Basku, but with that death of Sorex, they kind of backpedaled out of that.
No, they've only got, they want to get the spawner right now in the side of red, and it looks like just another stalemate.
And this is the kind of stamina I was talking about. Tiger on Sniper now for once, not Flash. He had his time on stream here, so not Tiger sniping, and Early also wants to be a playmaker, but not quite working too well for him. Flash just feeding into the choke, seeing if he can get something. Not really happening. Don't have the pipe. Scout down. Tiger still sniping, and he has proven himself to be a pretty good sniper, so not a super comfortable position for Basku to be in, unless they have something to respond with. And Poison dying in Victor to 3 people pushing into him is not the way to go about things here. They send Lucas to sniper though.
Tiger's just walking into, he's with his team in Big Dog, misses his shot on Eon. Oh, Lucas just gets him in retaliation when he goes to sniper.
That is really important now. Basku has a lot more breathing room to not have to worry about sniper sidelines here anymore. Lucas as well having so much more freedom on the sniper class to make some stuff happen for his team, but that still requires him to be in a position to actually hit Se7en's players, and they're not getting too keen on peeking those sidelines themselves.
Yeah, just oh, Poison does go down to a Disky right there, which is going to be a nice pick there, but a Disky also goes down. Oh,
and standing
2
in choke
picks.
weak as well, getting cleaned up as well, and all of that off the back of having a spy on the field. So realistically, that's 3 down unless Tiger does something. Early trying to get a play in here even, but that's not going to go too far.
Oh my, but that's not very good. Go away phone, stop, go away Snapchat.
Well, Tiger still on spy, just standing in the middle of the area. He was visible there for a split second and no one saw it. That was so important, and he knows that Madness gets the drop. Medic down, and he gets the sniper too. That's 2 kills. That is really big for his team. Se7en now in a really good position to push, and they don't even need to wait for Tiger to make it a safe push. They have players that are coming into this no matter what.
It's like straight away, they're going to be going through Big Dog. They have 3 picks right now, and Martin does go down. So, so far, they're just kind of.
Look at this, Early heavy again. Way out of the position you expect him to be. He's just hiding in the corner with the Thomas Law, so he's not making a sound. But it doesn't look like anybody is coming his way. Maybe a Disky, but he's dead. 1 kill worth it.
Oh, he gets spotted out. He knew he was it. He must have spotted him through the wall. He's like 30 HP. He's down. There's no way he can win that. Oh, looks like Poison goes in for Seeds. Doesn't quite get it, and the Lash gets him. But the Lash also goes down to Poison's rocket. But it looks like, oh, what?
Ooh, look!
Oh,
with the W key into Seeds. It gets that just in front of the Devilman. Kate is looking mighty sad there. Tries to make the situation any better. Deal some damage to Martin. Might help at Disky getting that, but even the banner is not enough. Conch speed won't help him out there.
oh my God! What? What was that? So far, they're just kind of 3 picks in the side of red right now. That's quite good. Oh, nice wee panic coming out for Yawn.
I can just imagine how upset Katus was about the fact that Lucas was just able to get away with that. And still, after all of that, Se7en was able to keep second in their control, capping it off now, and get an advantage out of all of that. They have prime opportunity to push into last moment. They get the Uber. Sniper up on the field, NG and Heavy. So triple off class here, all on the left side.
And Pyro. And Pyro.
Ooh, we're playing Prolander today here, Basku.
Hey boys, Singafu, hit me up. Don't hit me up. I don't want to talk to you.
Well, Basku certainly wants to. They have all the classes ready to defend this last point.
They're going to go in now. They've used Uber. Oh, they get the Sentinel down instantly. The last is just walking on point.
And that's just it. Yon wasn't reacting in time. 4-0 for Se7en. What does it matter if you have off classes if none of them do anything?
I thought Se7en were the one to park buses, but the bus crew are living up to their name.
Well, and at this point they really can't. It's almost 20 minutes left, 18, with 4-0 lead for Se7en. Adiski going quick into enemy Victor, doesn't really find any good damage, has to leave. And he just goes up enemy side, gets teamed up on by both scouts, Ams finds the pick as well. Everybody is collapsing onto them in Victor. It's so much damage. And just focus there. With Zoic's flanking, he's on Seeds. Can he get it? No, Seeds stays alive. Kites it into the elbow there, and Flash helps him out. Saves his medic. Lucas does stay alive, but as a single scout, how much can you do?
They do get spawners right now. That's only they're just all on point right now. It looks like red team are going to try to contest second, but we have Ali on sniper. Should be interesting.
And let's see. Basku is holding fairly passively.
But this goes straight in for Mark. He gets Ali.
That is actually really good. That gives the team so much space to work with now. And they're just all in here, 2-for-1 picks, getting a third one as well. They're getting a little bit ahead of themselves in the shutter area though. Yon is just farming damage. Their Kate is down, Flash down as well. Makes them get optimistic. With only Tiger and Seeds up now, they have a good opportunity to get a force in if they wanted to. Obviously they need to keep Martin safe though, because in Uber they don't have anything to respond with to that. They get the force with double scout, they get Lucas on Se7en's end, but not much else. So it's a little bit screwed here, and lower gets taken down. So both scouts had to die for that, but Martin is close to having, so how comfortable is Se7en with going into last year?
Oh, two scouts are down right now. Let's see what off classes they can. Oh, Yon goes down. The Cadis is sticky. This is like good for them. They can just kind of walk on the point and it walks on. And the Uber has been popped out instead of red.
He does take him down. That is really important. This guy's on Spider. Can they spot him in time?
Oh, he was healed by the med. He's been healed. No, can he get him? He's 56 HP. Oh no, he gets the bottle knife on him. Oh no.
Se7en is just keep going. They want to end this now. They don't think about the consequences of this fight. They just keep feeding in one by one. But it's not enough. They got the Martin kill, which is good and all. But with Seeds dying for it, they don't actually get any advantage out of that. So Basku eventually winner of this messy fight. But how much are you winner of this if you can't actually leave last with it?
This guy's still on Spy. They don't expect Spy a second.
And they do actually leave the last as well. Se7en not really too comfortable taking position here early without anybody up. So they're just coming in now, but they're coming in confidently and with everybody. But they also have a Spy, so they only have 5 damage classes until Ams does something. And it looks like he's been spotted. He still gets the stab onto Yon. That one went down for effectively a soldier.
Oh no, that's not very good. This guy, the Seeds also trapped in the corner. Oh, they're all just collapsing in. They're just down. It's only the last left. That's going to be a complete wipe on the side of blue. Oh my god, 7 are down and out for the count.
Well, how long is this going to last though? They do have a nice Uber advantage on Martin. The Solis are all getting in position to make some play happen. This he's just fighting all the way above Choke. Where's Ams going? He's just throwing himself in front of Choke, maybe being a distraction to let them think, yes, this was the classic play into Choke with the Soli, and then they don't check for Adiski. Let's see if Basku is smart enough to realize that it wasn't.
Just like casual thing. Seeds is up top and bats right now by himself. The last just
nice play by Adiski, drops down, gets it done. Lots of damage from, well, actually not a lot of damage from Martin, but enough to threaten him at the very least. Just the rocket was enough.
Tiger knows there's a soldier outside camping. He's just going to go back to last. Se7en are being pushed back to last again. They're going to whip out the heavy, the lash on heavy, just above the point on a little railing hanging my bob. Oh, but oh no, Lucas is in on seeds. Oh, just saved, just by the skin of his teeth.
Martin went down at the same time while
What?
Cadis was just going in from main, and the soldier took too long to kill him. Poison's going last, so nobody sees him. Everybody's just pushing forward. Soix is there as well, and that should be enough.
He just jumped in and went to the point. What?
Nobody stopped him.
Question mark?
He killed the person in main, and nobody else checked for that area, so he's just in there. And for one, looks like Pascu have still something to say in this game.
Yeah, they've got something to say, but they've got 13 minutes to say it. Looks like oh, Sorex, come on, Cadis, straight away. He's going to be on. He's just going to run into elbow. In fact, he's right behind him. Just going to be on the med. Oh, looks like Tiger catches him out by the looks of things. He's going to go. He's still on the med. He's still on him. He doesn't quite get it. But there's 3 picks for the set of red. Oh, 4 now. 4 down on set of red. Only Martin poisoned up. Martin's just kind of dilly down his way back to last. Looks like he's going to be chased by a disc in that. But there's not. Nah, he's not going to be chased fully. He's going to get to last. But
Martin dying so late to the sticky. Kate is chasing him just for long enough, killing him before he can get into the safety of this last point. And that is a crucial Uber advantage that they can use into last year.
oh no.
No safety for the Bascu now, and no buffs up until Martin is on the field, and it won't be in time. And gets taken down.
Oh
Is
no.
that enough? It's just a single kill. Lucas is still sniping. He wants that, and he actually gets Cadis. That is 2 great picks from the sniper, but they still need presence on the point, and they don't have that too much. Jon laid Martin as well, and it's not enough. Se7en takes the 5-1 lead, and with that, they're winning this game.
That's a GG. That's 6. Is that 600 euros they have in the bag?
Yes,
There we
indeed.
go. That's a lot of food they can buy. Also, funding to land, which is great. Smiley face.
Well, assuming we don't have engineers and process lobby on LAN. But yeah, congratulations to Se7en taking the victory here in the EU Essentials Monthly for May, and yeah, taking 600 euros of the €1,000 prize pool in just 2 maps against the boss crew. Fortunately going out with, I'm not quite sure how much the second gets that, but obviously much less, so congratulations.
We're going to run to a quick ad now, so 30 seconds and we'll be back.
Master of segues.
Look at me, the most beautiful and dashingly charismatic gentleman on the face of this planet. And yet, I am less than 1 foot tall. Children, do not smoke. It'll stunt your growth! STN Trading, for the discerning gentle person.
Alrighty, here we are again, and once again we just saw it with our own eyes. Se7en taking the victory in 2 maps against Bascu. Logs are somewhere to be found. I am sure I can find them any second, but that's not relevant. Se7en took the W, and there we go. I have some logs on my screen. How much can you get from this? Probably not too much. Se7en took this really convincingly. Lucas having an outstanding performance. That needs to be said, and it can be seen in his stats. But how much is that worth if it's one outlier here? Unfortunately enough for him.
Another thing to point out is that Yong's damage compared to the last time he was playing in this map is halved. Halved and a bit, in fact.
Well, to be fair, this game only lasted half as long, though.
True. But, you know, positive stuff. He never did as good as he did on, say, like, the other map. He went negative this game. But it was still a strong performance out from him. There's no doubt about that. Every player played strong here.
Well, but how much is a strong individual performance worth if you can't keep it together as a team? And that's where Se7en is shining. They know what they're doing on these fights. They have great coordination on the bits, as I mentioned once here in the game. And was impressive.
Oh, there looks like seats is in general chat. What are we doing here, boys? Is there a possibility?
Hey. Yeah, I heard we're having interviews on the way, and we'll take a second because we saw how long these guys need to take time, how long these guys need to get on the server. So they probably need the same way for a voice channel. So yeah, how much is there to say about this game? Probably not too much. This time, the stats are a little bit more on Se7en's end here, which isn't too surprising. It seemed much more one-sided. Was much faster victory for Se7en at that.
Yeah. Also, it looks like we're going to have Seeds and Cadis in for the interview. And there's the man. Cadis has just joined.
There's Cadis himself. And that's Seeds. Hello,
Hello.
guys, and congratulations to winning some money.
Thanks, man. Printing the notes as we speak.
Enthusiasm is just all over the place here. After the fun that must have been process.
Yeah, it was a little bit lame, but that's how it goes. It's I think we're used to it by this point.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about this game specifically all we want, but we all just saw it. What is probably more important to me is looking back at the ETF Dragon finals and then compared to where you guys are now. How much would you say has things stepped up? You mentioned yourself, Cadis, that you weren't too happy with your performance or like the team's performance in general during the grand finals. How much has things changed since then?
I don't think things have changed like too much because I really do think the ETF2L performance by us was like more of a blip, and the general trend has been a bit more like what you're seeing now. But I think it was like first grand final for a lot of guys, and there was some like nerves involved, I guess. But I think people are getting more used to like playing matches now with this team. So I think that's probably the biggest difference. Everyone's just a bit more familiar with what it's like because like you scrim with people and they play or behave in a certain way, but then you play like matches that matter and you got to learn like new things about your teammates in those environments. So I think everyone's sort of a bit more acclimated to that. So yeah, now we're just in the swing of things and this is how it should look pretty much. It could still be a bit better. It could like be tidied up in some places, but it's getting there for sure.
And with your boy Seeds here now on Medic, how is he fitting in the team now? It's been a while since he joined the team.
It's going good, I think.
Have
You're
some
dead weight.
confidence. Well, the performances certainly speak for themselves so far, and obviously you guys are also scrimming for the season, preparing things. What kind of teams have you seen that like kind of impress you so far? Obviously, I would imagine scrims are still going kind of like these games, but what kind of teams have you seen building for next season that kind of make you think they're gonna do really well next season potentially?
To be honest, I think we've mainly sort of scrimmed the same group of guys, like a couple of teams over and over again. Like we've mainly been playing like Aura Electro, who I don't think they're going to exactly like win Prem next season, but they're making steady improvements. So I don't think they're one for like the immediate, like next month are they going to be destroying people, but they're like steadily improving. So they're interesting at least. Other than that, to be honest, we mainly played like a lot of like test rosters and people trying different things and different lineups and stuff. I'm interested in like the top 5 team. They seem kind of, it's nice to have like a lot of those guys back, like the full French lineup again.
We didn't have the best game against them. They were really good. It's just we had to switch servers midway through, I think, because the config sucked, which was my fault. We like got to 2 rounds and then the game ended and we were all very surprised.
Well, that sounds like just a fun time. Maybe that's potential new rule set that should never be implemented.
Yeah, matchmaking style.
Also, I think what is a good point to bring up with these Essentials Cup, there's been a lot of talk about the format and people aren't 100% happy with how it plays out at the moment. You guys have been playing the majority, if not all of them so far. So I would imagine you guys have some opinions there as to what can be changed to improve the thing and get better signups for the future.
I don't know, I disagree with the whitelist thing, and I definitely disagree with the weapons you unban. It's really ridiculous that you would ever unban Machina in its current state.
I think we saw it once in the game.
I didn't get hit by a bullet and I dropped because it passed through my teammate and it dealt 173 damage to me. Like, what's the point in that? Why would you unban that weapon in any game? What?
Yeah, the machina just going like through
Yeah, it was a
one of your
collateral.
own and then killing the medic basically with a fully charged
He
body
got
shot.
2 collateral kills that game.
Yeah, exactly. And suddenly positioning means so much less. Like normally you can just body block a medic and protect him, but not with that thing. And apart from weapons, like just time, like schedule with when games are being played, how long everything takes and stuff like that. People have been some complaints about that, and it reflects in the signups more or less. So there's
There's a
been some
long
debate
wait
about that.
time between games. Like, I think if you did smaller groups, you'd be able to make people's games start quicker, and they wouldn't have like half an hour of downtime every hour for 5 hours.
Yeah, I think like tonight is fine. It's just like an extended night of scrims or whatever. Like you play mostly like teams on your level, and only the best ones go through and play a lot. So I think the Sunday night format is completely fine. But the Saturday, I think if we're at a point simultaneously where we have to like rally the troops to get people to sign up to make the numbers, we're probably also not at the point where we can be taking liberties and try and like whitelist that people don't like and things like that. And there's definitely
Okay.
like room to trim with the group stages, man. I mean, it's probably a bit different for us because we are obviously one of the stronger teams, so we're maybe not reflective of the majority of teams playing, but we spend the first 3 hours of the group stages playing, if we're lucky, 30 minutes of TF2 across the 3 hours, and the rest of the time just sitting around waiting. I think you could very easily trim like these hour slots to 45 minutes at least. And then if someone's late or overruns, then fair enough, like things get delayed a bit, but that's at least the worst case scenario, that things get delayed. Right now, best case scenario, you're waiting for at least 40 minutes per game a lot of the time. So I would say like just work on the group stages is the biggest thing, because I think that's what most teams play. Like in theory, like most teams don't play that much playoffs. So you got to get the group stages into a place where people actually want to play them.
Also, especially with the number of teams we have right now, group stages are largely pointless. Like, we played a team in the first round that's only win was a default win against another team, and 16 out of the 18 teams got in. And that's like my entire Saturday spent playing teams that weren't of our skill level, and we had a large downtime between games.
Yeah, that's like a similar story for like the worst teams as well. Just open teams that just want to see how they can perform, and
Yeah, they
like
don't learn
it is
anything.
the
Just
same
get
experience basically,
smashed.
just like losing as quickly as you guys win basically.
That's the thing. Like, we're complaining about it because we're winning too fast, but there's teams out there that are just getting rolled for 10 minutes and then forced to sit for like 3/4 of an hour waiting to maybe get rolled again. I think it could definitely be like, it could just be improved. Like we've done the same system for I don't know how many cups, like 5 or something now. And I think people have said this after every time. The group phase is probably just too long. You don't even necessarily have to have less games. You just make the slots smaller. Less games maybe, but I'm sure you could trim it down by an hour and a half or 2 hours or something if you made the right adjustments.
Yeah, that is indeed some good points, and I hope a lot of people bring up their complaints with the current format, because silently complaining to nobody won't really change anything. So everybody that just has something to say about this should probably make it known to people and suggest improvements, so that next time we have much better sign-up numbers. Obviously, next monthly will be once next season has just about started. So there will be a lot more finalized rosters as well, which does help a little bit, but it's not like people don't play TF2 in the off-season at all. So
Well, they don't want to play it on their weekends.
yeah, but that's like the same thing for every monthly, not just this specifically.
Yeah.
I think the offseason probably played a part in, like, the signups weren't bad this time, but in having to sort of rally the troops to get people to fill the numbers up. It'll probably be better next cup regardless, but yeah, people have been saying the same stuff, so maybe it's time to just try some different things.
Yeah, and speaking of trying different things, one suggestion I've been hearing being thrown around is testing different maps for this, which sounds like something that obviously could happen, depending on how ETFDL obviously is gonna do next season. We had this map Kappa Beta, but a lot of Prem teams sadly didn't play. We had about like 3 or 4 like Div 1 to Prem level signups there, with maps that do seem quite promising in my opinion, that should definitely be playtested more. And I think like a cup like this could lend itself to playtesting those quite a bit, in my opinion.
It
Yeah,
could
what was
be you
you
get
guys?
lower signups than you have now because people don't enjoy playing new maps. The vast majority of the TF2 community unless there's like a financial reward. Just isn't interested in it.
Well, but the vast majority of the TF2 community also doesn't like playing Sunshine, Badlands, Granary.
It's true. Just process Gully Snake all day, every day until they die.
Yeah, basically. So it's like if you replace any of those three with like a one new map, it's like a win-win situation. You're gonna test a map and people still don't like it any more than they did before anyway.
You can't make anyone happy ever.
Yeah, but you can't improve things if you don't try. So maybe that's something that can be considered as well. As long as you don't like majorly force it on people, like all group stages are gonna like not only be new maps. I think that's definitely a wrong way to go about this. But just
Yeah.
have it there for people that want to play it.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. Like, I'm not sure what the reasoning is for only having 5 maps at the moment, but if they expanded, or if you guys expanded the map pool like to 7, like it is elsewhere, and then just subbed out like Granary or something 1 cup for like a test map, I don't think people would mind that, because you can just, if you don't want to play it, you just ban it. Like you always get a ban, so it's not that big a deal, and no one's really liking Granary or whatever anyway. So I don't think people would mind. But I don't really know why it's only 5 maps at the moment. So maybe there's a reason for that I'm not aware of.
A lot of the people on our team got really sick of playing Process and Snake every day.
Well, I don't want to know how Americans are going to do next season with the new map system
Oh
thing
god,
that they
that
have.
sounds interesting.
Yeah,
Get
like
banned
they
up
might as
one
well just
map.
sponsor the season by process, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for me. Plunk, do you have any final words here of wisdom?
No, not really. I mean, I basically agree with what most of them said. The map pool has to be changed. The system has to be updated. More exposure as well would be good. As Katie said, rallying everyone up isn't as good as just saying like, people want to play it, and also it's off season as well. So I agree with most people. So I'm not really saying.
Yeah, I think for the last one, at least there's some moves being made. It's now advertised on ETF2L and I think UGC too. So people that don't check TFTV or don't already follow the channel will now at least be informed at some point. Obviously, it needs to still happen in time. Like, I think just a week before is a little bit too little time, in my opinion.
Is there any way to analyze if we're getting like any impact whatsoever from being on the Twitch front page? So you think that would do something at least?
Most likely, but I'm not the person to ask for that, unfortunately.
Come
I've
on,
never
mate.
opened the Twitch front page in my life. Just
Where's the
saying.
stats at?
Well, I see a viewer number that's over 1K, if not almost close to 2K right now, and we have been talking for a few minutes, so yeah, you that is a good
Wow.
segue. You can have your shoutouts in front of 2K people.
Incredible.
So if you have anybody to shout out, let's start with Cadis.
Shout out to all of my wonderful teammates, as well as Funds and Credu and Demol and whoever else we use as a sub throughout the duration of this cup.
That was it. Oh,
The
Polygon.
money is in the bank. Oh, Polygon as well. And shout out to the FM people.
And not the FN people.
Not to be confused.
Well, Seeds, any
Yeah.
final words?
Shout out to Se7en and Cadis and Rivka. And
Okay,
thanks for
Plunk.
the names.
I'm away for dinner and I don't have final words, and I want Nate to do my final words. I want dinner, and it's too warm, and I want my windy because it's too warm.
Shoutouts to
Yourself?
hot weather in Scotland, and shoutouts to our sponsors as well, STN Trading and Demos.TF, big fan of demos. And
Thank you.
shoutouts to
Demo.
people that don't change their STV passwords as well. And with that, this has been
I'm one of
EU
them.
Essential Monthlies, and we'll be seeing you next week, not next month, for the NA Monthly. So we'll be seeing you then, and see ya.
If you think this looks strange, you should see my revolver. STN Trading, for the discerning gentleperson.